Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to this week's edition of the Black and Gold Report, a show all about UNC Pembroke athletics, presented by Pepsi. I'm Jenna Davison, and today on the show we're going to be catching up with two-time wrestling national champion Daniel Owenby, as well as Associate AD for Communications Todd Anderson. And on the second half of the show, we're going to be watching a feature video on head softball coach Brittany Bennett. But first, we're joined by Daniel. Welcome to the show.
Thank you.
Well, we had you on the show over a year ago to talk about the emotions of winning your first national championship, but here we are again talking about it for the second straight year. Are your emotions the same this year? Is there a different feeling for this one?
It's about the same. I mean, a national title is a national title, and it just feels great to be able to be the first one to do it in school history. So I was aiming for school history freshman year, and so I finally achieved it this year, and it feels just as good as it did last year.
Well, let's talk about your run through the tournament in St. Louis. You had a couple of tough matches along the way, beginning with an overtime win in your opener. Was there at any point in that opening match where you were a little stressed about the outcome?
Yes, I was. Going into the third period, it was tied, and all I could think about was sophomore year. Sophomore year, I went into nationals undefeated. I lost my first match in overtime. Whistle blew into the third period, and I'm just sitting there, and I'm like, oh no, this is going to be sophomore year all over again. Like, I can't believe it. And so overtime's about to start, and I couldn't get any shots off on the kid because he just kept backing up. And so 2 times during the match, he took like mini half shots, and I almost got around behind. So my whole game plan in overtime, as messed up as it sounds, is to bait the kid to shooting, like showing him like, hey, you've got a shot, like just please take a shot so I can score. And so I got the score, and I was like, okay, no more overtime matches. I don't want that stress anymore.
Well, you advanced through to Saturday's semifinal round where you faced a pretty formidable opponent in Nebraska Kearney's Keith Suber, and then posted a dominant 13-5 major decision in the national championship match against Western State's Corbin Bennett with 5 takedowns. What was your strategy in the title match? You seemed to be pretty content to yield escapes and stay on your feet the whole time.
Well, I think if the score was, I got 6 takedowns.
Oh, I'm sorry, 6
No,
takedowns.
it's okay.
Yes.
No, but my thought going into the semifinals match is I actually talked to the kid I beat in the finals the year before. He had wrestled him in the quarterfinals, and so I was asking him, what was this kid good at? What's he do? And so he told me on bottom he likes to grab arms and just roll around. And so my whole game plan for like the whole second day of nationals is to take him down and immediately cut him. It was my plan in high school, and I talked to OT about it, and me and OT had talked a lot, and we had discussed riding time through regionals, riding time like the whole year, like you need to go ahead, hold your opponent down, get riding time. But I talked to Coach that morning. I'm like, look, Coach, I know I can win a second national title. Just let me cut the kid. And then for the finals match, the kid I wrestled in the finals beat 2 really good opponents. Beat the kid that I beat maybe like 2-3-1 in the regional finals, in the semifinals, and then also beat another kid that was a returning All-American from 2 years ago in the quarterfinals. So I mean, he had a tough way to get there, but I just wanted to go out there and dominate my last match, to go out there and leave it all on the mat because it was my last college match. So I went out there and did it.
Well, we would be remiss if we didn't talk about your celebration after the match was over. You had a pretty impressive backflip and then ran back to your head coach to include him in your celebration as well. Did you plan your celebration, or was it kind of spur of the moment?
No, I did not plan my celebration. And if you go look through the pictures, there is a picture in the point of my backflip where I am tucking so hard my face. You can see it in my face because I took 2 steps forward, hit my backflip. I'm mid-air, and I'm like, I shouldn't have took a step forward. I'm not going to make this. I'm not going to make this. And so I tucked as hard as I could, squeezing my abs. I landed on my tippy toes, and I was like, oh, thank God I made it. And I turned around and I looked at OT, and I looked there. I was like, you're going for a ride. I go and I grab him, and next thing I know, me and him are both fighting of who's going to throw who, and I won that match.
I was going to say you won last year as well,
Yeah.
too. Well, you finished your collegiate career with a record 134 wins and 18 losses, which stands in a tie for second on UNCP's all-time wins list. Other than the national championships, what moment or moments stand out to you over the last 4 years?
My first All-American status. My freshman year, Byron Sigmund coached here, and he was my teammate at Greensboro before they dropped the program. So it was both our fresh year at Pembroke, and the match to win All-American was really exciting. I knew I could do it, but freshman year, just punching that ticket to the second day of nationals, it was really emotional, and so.
Well, how much better do you think you got as a wrestler over your time at UNCP, and how much of a factor did it play having Coach O.T. Johnson progress you as a collegiate wrestler?
My gap of improvement was extremely high. I came in, mostly my improvement was mentally, because I come to college and I knew what I was doing. Once you get to college, you don't learn anything new. You don't learn something different. You just take what you know and you polish it. You make it better. And Coach Johnson has done a fantastic job of helping me mentally, as well as taking my craft and just making it better. But he took me from a freshman with a hot head and not really confident in myself, and allowed me to believe that I could be the best in the country. And so that's really what won me 2 national titles. Wasn't the fact that we sat there and learned new moves. We just took what I knew, we polished it, and then we worked on mentally getting me better. Once I got over my mental hump, he always told me freshman year, get out of your own way, get out of your own way. And I mean, he's still mentoring me mentally. I look up to him as a mentor in life, not only in wrestling.
All right. Well, thank you so much for being on the show
You're
with
welcome.
us today. We're going to take our first commercial break, and when we come back, we're going to be sitting down with Associate AD for Communications, Todd Anderson. So stay tuned.